90 out of 100. So since we have 90 out of 100, what we're saying here is we have 90 hundredths, right? So to write that, what we do is we put the decimal and we go over 2 spaces to the hundredths place, and we want to fill in without however many hundredths we have. Since we have 90 hundredths, we're going to write 0.90 or 90 hundredths. Make sense? The next question, it says, what place value is underlined? Well, you can see we go 3 places past the decimal. If you look past the decimal on the right-hand side, 1, 2, 3 takes us to the thousandths place. So what place value is underlined? The thousandths. Let's just take a moment and let's look at the place value chart. If you notice to the right of the decimal, all of the decimal places end in THS, right? To the left of the decimal place, they only end in S. Like hundreds is on the left-hand side, or the whole numbers. Over on the right-hand side, it's hundredths. Well, if you see here, if I say 100, that means I have 100 whole brownies, is what it's talking about. If you're talking about 100th, what I'm saying is I take 1 whole brownie and I cut it into 100 different pieces. So out of the whole, I only have 1/100th. Okay? So 100th would mean that I would go over to the hundredths place and put 100 in there. So it's a little different, making sure that if you're in the hundredths, you have THS. Okay? Next, you need to name a decimal equivalent for 1/4. Well, if I take a whole and I break it into 4 equal pieces, that's a fourth. So a fourth is equal to what as a percentage? What's the same as a fourth as a percent? Jillian? 25%. The rule of changing a percent to a fraction, if I have 25%, the rule is we take the percent and we drop it, we turn it into a decimal, and we move it 2 places to the left. So our decimal equivalent is 0.25. Okay? Any questions about that? Okay. Putting the decimals in order from least to greatest. Can you pull up the sticky for me? So minimize that and get a sticky. Clear the ink. Hit the minimize button. Click the sticky. Might need to double click it. Okay, and then bring that sheet back up. 2 over. There you go. And let's move that over. Good job. All right, so we're looking at putting the decimals in order from least to greatest. Now, when I was looking at your pre-test yesterday and they asked you to put things in order from least to greatest, a few of you guys had some of them misplaced in the order, all right? One of the things that you want to do is you want to look at this in terms of money, right? So, what I see here is I see 25 hundredths, or 25 cents is what I call it. I see 52 hundredths, or 52 cents. What is this right here? Is it 90 cents? Lindsay? 9 cents. It's 9 cents. And notice what that means is it's saying I have 9 out of the 100 cents I need to make $1, right? Because it takes 100 cents to equal $1. For this one, it says I have 52 of the cents I need to make $1. And here I have 25 of the 100 cents that I need to make $1. Well, which one is the least amount of money? If you're putting it in order from least to greatest, which one is the least amount? Hunter? The way you call this is 9 hundredths, or 9 cents, is the least. Which one is next in order? Noah? 25 cents, or 25, what we call this is 25, and then we go 2 places over to the hundredths place, so it's 25 hundredths. And then the largest amount of money, Luke?
Is
52 hundredths, or 52 cents. How many of you guys had that in order from least to greatest correctly? Good. Next one, let's clear the sticky and move on. We're comparing 2 fractions. I have 5/8 and 3/10. You can compare it 2 different ways. You can compare it percentage-wise, or you can compare it by changing them both into common denominators, right? Well, which one's easiest percent-wise? Who knows the percents off the top of their head? Yes? Yeah. Is? 30%. 3/10 is 30%. Now, I know that 4/8 is 50%, right? Well, 4/8 is already bigger than 3/10, right? So do I even need to know the percent of 5/8? No. So I can already say that I know that 3/10 is less than 5/8 because it's less than 4/8. So since it's less than 4/8, I know that it's less than 5/8, right? Off that topic though, 5/8 as a percent, if 4/8 is 50 and 1/8 is 12.5, 5/8 is 62.5. Good job. What's our time looking like, Cody? Just pull it up. Good job. Thank you. All right, let's move on up. Down. I don't know why I always say down or up. So we're adding 2 fractions. We need to add 3/4 plus 1/10. Really quickly, if I multiply 4 and 10 on the bottom, or the denominator, I will come up with a common denominator, which is what? Courtney?
20.
What's 4 times 10? 40. 20 is a common denominator of them both. So you could use 20, you could use 40. If you use 40, you're going to have to reduce it even more. Okay? So let's just use 40 and see what we come up with. To change 3/4 over to 40, what do I need to do? Caitlin? What do I need to do to go from 3/4 to 40?
You do 3/4 times 10 over 10.
Good. 10 over 10. 4 times 10 is 40. 3 times 10 is 30. So 3/4 is, our new fraction is going to be 30 over 40. What do I need to do to change 1/10 to our common denominator of 40?
4 over 4.
We're going to multiply by 4 over 4, and my new numerator will be
4.5.
no, 4. Silly. So my new fraction is 4/40. Since they both have common denominators, I can add them together. And what's my new answer? Gage? 30 what?
6.
This is a 0. Sorry.
34.
34/40. Can I reduce 34 over 40? They're both even. What'll go into 34 over 40? Then? 2. How many 2's will go into 34? That one's hard, right? Off the top of your head, let's think about
17.
17, good. 2 times 15 is 30. And 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 times 17 gives us 34. How many 2's will go into 20? 2's will go into 40. No problem. I'll give you the answer. 17 over 20 is my answer. Okay? Alright. Clear the ink for me. We're going to look at 3/10 of 40, which means we need to multiply. Good job. So, I'm going to write it 3/10 times 40. What do I do when I have a whole number with nothing underneath it as a fraction? Gage? Put it over 1. Now I need to multiply. What do I do? Who am I not calling? Megan. Which is? How many 10's will go into 120? 12. Over 1, which is equal to 12. How many of you guys got 12 as your answer?